This period marks another milestone in the steady growth, renewed confidence, and strengthening reputation of our university. Summit University has continued to advance on all fronts. Our commitment to academic excellence, moral discipline, and innovation-driven services has remained unwavering.
The enthralling press conference heralded the impressive activities for the 5th and 6th combined convocation ceremonies of the Summit University offer.
What is the essence of the press conference?
Is to tell the world our contribution to the society and where we are contributing and fighting insecurity in Nigeria, and how we are democratizing knowledge and sending away ignorance.
The university, established by the Ansarudin Society of Nigeria, one of the foremost Islamic organizations in Nigeria, with education forming the bedrock of its formation, having celebrated 100 years of existence and branches widespread across the globe, the love of the organization for quality education continues to soar. Since the establishment of Summit University by the association, it has achieved significant milestone in its journey towards becoming the institution of higher learning when it received the provisional license from the Nigerian Universities Commission on the 5th of March 2015, making it the 59th private university in the country, and eventually the permanent operational license on the 1st of April 2019. With the first combined 1st to 4th convocation ceremonies held in December 2023 as part of the activities of the centenary celebrations, the university has continued to excel by churning out well-qualified graduates competing favorably with their peers in the society. The combined 5th and 6th convocation ceremonies was heralded with a convocation lecture focused on African Historical Society by an African in the diaspora who is based in America. Having done with the welcoming speeches, the guest lecturer mounted the podium after her brief citation read by the university orator.
It is my singular honor and privilege to invite you to today's special convocation lecture, to be delivered by a respected scholar, Dr. Richard Leslie. As Vice Chancellor of the university, I'm deeply pleased that at this pivotal moment in our 5th and 6th combined convocation ceremonies, we are granted the opportunity to benefit from our insight, experience, and wisdom. Dr. Leslie comes to us with a reputation for academic excellence and a record of deep commitment to research and teaching. Our participation today not only enhances the scholarly value of this convocation, but also underscore our university's dedication to exposing our students and community to global thought, leadership, and academic rigor. Today's lecture is more than an academic formality.
She has a lot of history behind her, and I will leave that to the people who are going to read the citation. But I want to tell you also, maybe you may not know, that she's the second Nigerian with Yoruba blood to have been sort of admitted to the Cali University of America after Professor Zulu Shofola.
Thige Titilola Rachel Leslie is the first African descended woman with Nigerian, nay Yoruba blood, to receive a graduate degree from the Catholic University of America, the greatest custodian of Ethiopian MSS, holding it outside the Horn of Africa. Our expertise is in Semitic and African languages and literatures, specifically Ge'ez, which is classical Ethiopic, the Coptic Egyptian, and Old Nubian. A polyglot with outstanding competence in German, Amharic, and English, with a working knowledge of French and Attic Greek, Dr. Leslie is engaged in research on pre-modern and pre-colonial African history.
Okay, I want you to imagine an Africa with no colonial borders, okay? This is an Africa in which there were trade routes that went straight across the Sahel trade routes that the bottom line is called the Sudanic wetlands of Africa. There were trade routes that went from Sudan to Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria was once referred to as Western Sudan. So this was an Africa in which people were moving back and forth and up and down freely, trading. So at the time when Timbuktu was a center of learning, that you know, from the 12th century at least, was a center of learning. People were coming to study in West Africa from as far away as Mecca. People were coming from all over Western Africa to study in Timbuktu. So Timbuktu was a global center of learning, an African center of learning. When the French colonized Timbuktu centuries later, they plundered what we know to be 7.5 million African manuscripts. 7.5 million African manuscripts. So we're talking about a colossal amount of information. At the top of that slide, you'll see all the various African scripts in which we have information that has been alienated from Africa that we will go over individually, and I'll tell you what each script is. So basically, this plunder, continuous historical plunder of African primary sources of information, played a large role in the underdevelopment of Africa and plummeting us into darkness and confusion that we wish to rescue ourselves from. Now, we want to also share all of these manuscripts on open access basis. We are about transferring information from the academy to civil society. President Adesina of the African Development Bank claims that only about 1% to 3% of Nigerians make it to university. So, I first of all want all of you here to know how important you are for Nigeria. You're very, very important for Nigeria, and it's important that you get this information and that you share it with people outside of the university system and with your children. It's very important. That's how we will move forward. We need information to move from the academy to civil society. So when we did the presentation, the congressman said, "Oh, we can't wait for you to be here." And then Dr. Coker said to me, "You know, we don't have the technology in Africa to actually do what you want to do." So he said, "I'm quitting my job at RAC Center and I'm going to build it." That was 3 years ago, and he raised $200 million and built it. So we have the infrastructure in place now to launch the African Historical Society fully.
In a lecture, Dr. Segi Titilayo Rachel Leslie espoused the beauty of the African history and the need to rely more on the originality of the history of our heritage than believe what colonialists tell us. This will ensure that Africans can adequately build their nation, ensuring sovereignty and defy imperialistic influences. The interactive question and answer session further threw more light on the topic in focus, which was further complemented with the media interaction with guests and management staff of the university.
How do we further pursue that in a way to stem the brain drain that your lecture has centered on appreciating our history, appreciating the value that is in our history, appreciating the fact that there is a lot of beauty and value in what we have, instead of relying on this white imperialistic influence. Thank you.
How do we get to know better, and it will cascade down into our society irrespective of our field?
How do we navigate through our African parents who get upset at the slightest Yoruba their children speak, and we twist our tongue to speak more of English language? How do we make them see the importance of our culture?
How did Africans get into slave trade and especially carried away into the Americas? I need clarification on that.
Autography is exactly what we were talking about when we were talking about the various alphabets that have been used to write Yoruba. So there have been what we call in linguistics autographic shifts. That is, Yoruba was written with an Arabic alphabet, an adapted and modified Arabic alphabet, and then there was an autographic shift to start writing Yoruba with a Latin alphabet, and it can be written with others. Now, our focus has been primarily, I mean, we did spend some time with scholars in the United States, but our primary focus is bringing this information to African scholars. Many of the scholars in the United States have access to information that you're not given. To some extent because of infrastructure issues, but also by design. This information is being kept from you. And because we were aware that this information that was produced by Africans was being kept from Africans, our focus has been the repatriation of this information to African knowledge systems, universities, civil society. From Abeokuta, you were asking, how can people who are outside of the field get access to this knowledge? This is very, very important for us, and we hope that within the next 6 months, we will have the ICT AI portal launched, which you'll be able to access with your smartphones, because when we were doing the feasibility studies for our system, we traveled around Africa and we saw that even in the deepest villages, people have smartphones. So we say this also to the Nigerian activists of all sorts. You know, if you want to develop the society, make information available on a smartphone. Everyone has one. So very soon you'll be able to log in and access this information. And then there are other resources online that we can talk about, other online resources that you can use to access some of it, but it hasn't been put together. I mean, we're founding the first program for the study of African manuscript cultures that doesn't exist. No one puts these things together. Even to put together the various African alphabets that I showed you, I had to put them together. There's not even a digital document that shows all the African alphabets. I had to create it.
I learned that the first thing is we ought to bring back everything about history, probably the way we greet, the way we do things, the way we relate with each other, and the likes of that, because a lot of us, we the Gen Zs, have actually forgot about this history of the thing.
It should never leave us. It's our background. Like, as far we are from this country, it's something that we should never leave behind, and we should stick to it and passing it to the younger generations.
The intention is to create the awareness about the lost glory of Africa, about the lost knowledge of Africa, so that our children, in fact, the society can know that what we have at the moment, in fact, the original knowledge from Africa was the thing that was taken away from us here, taken to Europe, taken to the West, and now being repackaged and sent. So we want to make this knowledge now available and accessible to all Nigerians, in fact, to the world, let me say Nigeria, so they can now have access to it properly.
I think the youth should have more knowledge and know that the place to be is Africa, indeed Nigeria. The brain drain is a myth, and I can tell you that some people are already regretting selling their properties to go abroad. They should come back home.
The essence of today's topic has to do with self-governance and realizing that we can govern ourselves. And for us to know that, we have to look back at the history. History is important. You can see self-rule, self-governance as historical perspective. And then decolonization starts from colonizing our mental and our thinking capability. For you to colonize people, you need to change their history. And that's why history was changed as of that time. So, and then this, and today's lecture is to show us that we need to revisit and do scientific inquiry on what we have been told about ourselves.
What's very important to understand, is, especially for the youth, is that they have an intellectual heritage and positive things in their culture that they can use to develop their society and to develop the nation and to create a more hopeful future.
As an African woman, and we have really gained a lot from a lecture. You know, he's a lecturer from a Catholic-based university. And from a wealth of experience, we've been able to share a lot of things that will really enrich our faith and really enrich our relationship with other faith-based religion.
In a lighter mood and in celebration of the students and stakeholders, the convocation dinner was a breath of fresh air with awards to deserving partners and teaching staff of the university.
I present the Service and Leadership Recognition Merit Award to Professor Amidou Sani for supporting the growth and development of Summit University, dated Thursday, 4th December 2025. Congratulations. On behalf of Summit University of I hereby present this Distinguished Leadership Merit Award to Alhaja Latifa Okunu for supporting the growth and development of Summit University. The Distinguished Leadership Merit Award to Alhaja Dr. Mosun Bello Ubushoga. On behalf of Summit University of I hereby present this Distinguished Leadership Merit Award to Alhaji Umar Farouk Ibrahim Ogutade for supporting the growth and development of Summit University. I hereby present this Distinguished Leadership Merit Award to Alhaji Musliu Adeola Kumbi Smith, CON, former Inspector General of Police, for supporting the growth and development of Summit University. Merit Award to Ishaq Family Foundation, led by Alhaji Kola Ishaq Balogun, for instituting an endowment at Summit University, dated this 4th day of December 2025.
The preliminaries to the dinner and speeches were followed by the awards bestowed on deserving recipients who are majorly stakeholders and partners of the university, who have and are contributing to the growth of the university as a great citadel of learning. Then the dinner was served, comprising of different sumptuous meal and drinks. The second day of the convocation ceremony was laced with more activities with the inauguration of the Third Summit Governing Council.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Those who pledge allegiance to you, certainly they have pledged allegiance to Allah. The hand of Allah is over their hands. Therefore, man nakasa, whoever betrays the trusts has betrayed himself, and whoever fulfills the terms of the trusts will indeed be rewarded bountifully." May Allah make it easy for you, and may Allah guide you from betraying the trusts. So please say after me, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna alladhina yubayi'unaka innama yubayi'una Allah. Yadullah, please, your hands like this. Yadullah fawqa aydihim faman nakatha fa innama yankuthu ala nafsi wa man awfa bima ahada alayhi Allah fasayutihi ajran azima. May Allah help me. Ameen. I presume you have mentioned your names have been called one after the other, and that has cleared it. So my prayer for you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وادخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Today, we have just inaugurated the third Governing Council of Summit University, a significant step in strengthening the leadership and future of this noble institution. For more than a century, in fact, this year we're going to be 102 years old, that's Ansarudeen. For more than a century, Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, and they say overseas also, has remained committed to education, moral upliftment, and service to humanity. Summit University stands as a flagship of this legacy.
We are a growing university, and I pledge, inshallah, bi qudratillah, that the next 4 years will be something that will gladden the hearts of everybody. There is no success without challenges, and we know where the footprint is. But then, with this new administration, we are making progress, especially financial-wise. It is okay, when we came, it was difficult to even pay salaries. Now we have at least 3 to 4 months' salary accrued in advance. So we thank God, we thank Almighty Allah. And specifically, I must mention Lagos State Council, Subdivision Lagos Branch. And yesterday night, you will see we gave them an award. They have been pillars of support for this university.
Well, we are expecting a total transformation of this university to make it the pride of Ansarudeen Society and the entire Muslim Ummah. And of course, the larger community, because we also have people of other faiths attending this thing. But first and foremost, this is a university set up by Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria to protect the interests of Muslims, first and foremost, and of course, other people of other faiths.
As the expansion of infrastructural edifices continue to soar in Summit University, more of such are being commissioned. The formal commissioning of the college building donated by Dr. Mrs. Mosun Bello Lushaga was done with pomp and pageantry, with guests sharing their impressions.
In the name of Almighty Allah, the most beneficent, most merciful, I hereby declare and commission this building in the name of, for the benefit of Summit University, humanity, and Almighty Allah. You can see the cream de la creme of Ansarudeen Society here today, showing our commitment. And that is a clear demonstration that we appreciate what she has done. And it's to send a clear message to other donors out there that, look, Ansarudeen appreciates what you do and will recognize you. The prayers from this great society can only replenish you greater. And so anybody that wants the prayers and the well wishes of a society like this should donate more.
I feel delighted. I feel very, very happy as usual. My mother is someone that I can say is not just an ordinary human being. She's an angel in human clothes, and this is all she do every time. So I'm not surprised that this is happening today at the Summit University. And I'm happy that people have been saying a lot of good things about her. People are happy and have prayed for her.
I feel happy, and I feel happy that 2 years ago we laid the foundation ceremony of 4 buildings, and I can tell you as of today, 2 have been completed. One have reached 75% completion rate, and the other one have reached 25%. You can see that we can say 100% as per those foundations laid 2 years ago.
The Convocation Juma service at the Juma Mosque in the university had multitude of the guests to the university in attendance. The sermon hinged on contemporary issues as delivered by the highly cerebral missioner, which resonated well with the guests.
Nítorí pé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tá a ṣẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn ní ká máa túbá fún ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tí ìsìlámù ọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tí mùsùlùmí ọ̀sẹ̀ iná wọn ní kí mùsùlùmí máa túbá fún wọn ní mùsùlùmí ní dàlú wọn ní mùsùlùmí ní jiyàn gbé wọn ní mùsùlùmí ní ṣe banditry wọn ní mùsùlùmí ní ṣe kidnapping wọn ní àwa mùsùlùmí àwọn ń ṣe àwọn nǹkan yìí fún àwọn tí kì í ṣe mùsùlùmí pàápàá jùlọ àwọn Christian àmọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí a tẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ wọnú Al-Qur'an náà káwọ kí ni Ọlọ́run bá sọ nípa banditry kidnapping for ransom in Quran chapter 5 ẹ̀kọ́ kalẹ̀ Quran chapter 5 verses 33 and 34 Ọlọ́run ọlọ́lá gíga ní almost 1,500 years ago ó ti ṣàlàyé kíní yìí ó sì ti ṣàlàyé kíní ẹ̀san tí ń bẹ fún ẹni tó bá sọ tó bá ṣe irú rẹ̀.
The university also took time out to honor some deserving Nigerians worthy of honorary doctorate degrees.
Chancellor, Public University of Kwara State, Nigeria, hereby constitute the accept as a Convocation Public University of for the purpose of confinement of honorary doctorate degree.
Summit University, Law Section 14.3, subsection 33I states, and I quote, the university may, without examination, confer an honorary degree of doctor in any faculty on any person who it may deem worthy of such a distinction, provided that the holder of such an honorary degree shall not be entitled to practice in the field that he has been admitted thereto.
By the authority of the Senate, I confer on you the degree of honorary doctorate degree of science in Business Administration, BSc, honorary author of Summit University of By the authority of the Senate, I confer on you the degree of doctorate degree of science in Business Administration, BSc, honorary author.
Saturday, the 6th of December, came the D-Day for the main convocation ceremonies. With guests seated, the procession of the graduating students followed with that of the academic columns. Then we had the opening prayers and recitation of the Holy Quran by Ibrahim Uraula.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفبعذابنا يستعجلون فإذا نزل بساحتهم فساء صباح المنذرين وتول عنهم حتى حين وأبصر فسوف يبصرون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
The acting registrar, Mustafa Kadri, formally invited the chancellor who constituted the assembly, followed with his address.
Summit University law empowers the university to award degrees, diplomas, certificates, and other distinctions, as well as to award medals, prizes, and other titles. It also provides that the chancellor shall preside at all meetings of convocation held for the purpose of conferment of honorary doctorate degrees, awarding of degrees, and presentation of special prizes. I humbly call upon the chancellor to constitute this assembly as a congregation held for the purpose of the conferment of honorary doctorate degrees, awarding of degrees, and presentation of special prizes.
I, Alhaji Dr. Sulaiman Adebola Adegua, OFR, the Chancellor, Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, hereby constitute this assembly as a congregation of Summit University for the purpose of the conferment of honorary doctorate degrees, awarding of degrees, and presentation of special prizes.
In the formal speech by the Chairman Board of Trustees, Engineer Nuruddin Adiagbo, he appreciated all the partners and stakeholders for their support and contributions to the growth of the university, with a pledge to ensure proper maintenance of the facilities while asking for more to earn Sadakat Jariyah.
The visitor, sir, who also doubles as the president of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, Alhaji Prince Mosadik Adeniji Kazim, SAN. It is approximately 2 years ago that we gathered here in this hall and conducted the maiden edition of the convocation ceremony held for the first, second, third, and fourth graduates of this university, which then coincided with the centenary celebration of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria and overseas, the proprietor and founder of this university. As we are quite aware, convocation ceremony is an annual event of any university. However, Summit University cannot make it so because of the low intake of students across all courses in the university, which eventually results to low turnout of graduates. However, I'm happy to inform our visitor and distinguished personalities that there had been a geometric progression in the enrollment of students in the ongoing admission process. The university has witnessed unprecedented development in physical infrastructures befitting a higher institution, which has given it an improved outlook as a citadel of learning instead of being perceived a glorified secondary school. Some of those structures for which construction work is completed or at advanced stage are: 1, the Senate building project donated by the Chancellor to the university, Alhaji Chief Dr. Sulaiman Adebola Adegunwa, OFR, which is ongoing and has reached about 30% completion. Today will be one of the happy days in your life as you graduate from this university. I want to advise you all to be good ambassadors of Summit University. Let the ethos of the university's motto, which is knowledge, faith, and wisdom, already imparted in you during the course of study, be your guiding tool as you navigate the world and contribute to the development of the society.
In the usual dexterity of his delivery, the Vice-Chancellor delivered his thought-provoking speech laced with appreciation, prayers, and good wishes to the parents and all stakeholders of the university.
I appreciate all benefactors, all donors who have generously donated buildings, equipment, computers, movers, and other essential resources that supported the smooth running of our university. I extend deep gratitude to àwọn òbí wa tí wọ́n wà níbí báyìí ní èní. Owó tẹ́ ẹ fi tọ́ àwọn ọmọ yìí, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ kí á gbàgbé ìbànújẹ́ ní ọwọ́ wọn o. Bọ́n ṣe kàwé tán ní ìsìn, owó la ó máa kà o. Owó alálùbáríkà náà máa mú wálé o. I especially recognize and appreciate Alhaji Dr. Suleiman Adebola Adegunwa, OFR.
In a form of solidarity with the university, some sister universities presented scrolls with some parting gifts for them. The high point of the event was a conferment of honorary doctorate degrees on Mr. Aderemi Muyudeen Makonjola after a brief citation by the university orator.
By the authority of the Senate, I confer on you the degree of honorary doctorate degree of science, DSc, honoris causa of Summit University of Kwara State, Nigeria, with the right and privilege there attached thereto. Congratulations.
I'm profoundly honored and deeply grateful to accept the honorary Doctor of Science degree honoris causa from Summit University. I sincerely thank the Governing Council and the Senate for conferring this extraordinary and meaningful honor upon me. My long history with the Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, an organization whose values, missions have shaped my family, is intrinsically linked to my late mother, Alhaja Adiat Makonjola. A devout Muslim, she joined the Lagos branch, Division 1, in 1980, and remained an active member, rendering valuable service through various committees. Our deep conviction compelled our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren to collectively support this university with a lecture hall named in our honor in 2017, commemorating our remembrance anniversary. For many years, I've been an enthusiastic advocate for education at all levels, believing it to be the most powerful tools for individual and societal transformation. My commitment to this cause has been demonstrated through my life and work, ensuring that all people, especially those with the fewest resources, have access to the opportunities they need to succeed in school and life. This honor, this honorary degree symbolizes more than just a personal achievement. It represents the convergence for learning and my family's enduring legacy of service to Ansarudeen Society.
In his speech, the visitor to the university and the president of Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria, Prince Musaddiq Adeniji Kazim, SAN, in his speech also commended all who have contributed to the growth of the university via levies from members and other stakeholders with the announcement of establishing a foundation for the association. Then, to the main event of the day, the conferment of degrees on the graduating students from different departments and faculties. This was followed with special endowed prizes and those who excelled in their courses and departments. The number of first class soared with special recognitions by the Chancellor. A point of interest are the two best graduating students of 2024 and 2025 with 9 medals each. In the remarks of the Pro-Chancellor, Alhaji Rafiu Adisa Ebiti appreciated all for the support for a successful event, which was followed with a counsel from the Chief Missioner of Ansarudeen, Imam Abdurrahman Ahmed.
Our doctorate degrees are based on merit.
they are based on what people have done for society. It is just tangential that we will ask for more as human beings. This is not the only thing that our awardee has done. Even when the National University Commission was asking questions about Summit University, what were the things they have on ground? What were the things that they need to do? Together with him and Adaji Oluwafemi Okuno, they were able to do something substantial in terms of money, which made the NUC say, and it was Professor Koji, he said, if Olufemi Okuno himself was the only one that came to apply for the University of Summit University, I will give it to him. This is how much we have in terms of committed human beings to the deen of Allah and to humanity. We cannot thank you enough, sir.
You are charged with the responsibility of continuously advancing the frontiers of knowledge. We want to see in you inventors. We want to see in you those who will nurture and sustain innovation. We want to see you making life better. We want to see you applying the knowledge that you have acquired here for the betterment of your immediate community, your state, your nation, and the world.
A former student and president of the Alumni Association, Ishmael, inducted the new graduates into the alumni body of the university. The convocation was formally closed by the Chancellor, which was preceded by the closing prayer and the rendition of anthems. As we wish the graduates and students well, we warmly congratulate Summit University and Ansarudeen Society of Nigeria for these great strides.